Change Tomorrow Today. A radio show about good ideas for a better tomorrow. Talks with social entrepreneurs about projects that change people's lives. Change Tomorrow Today, a Rádio Miúdos.pt production for the European Investment Bank Institute.
Hi everyone, welcome to our show Change Tomorrow Today. And today we'll talk about fireflies and other animals that glow. Glowee is a company that wants to change the way we see, literally. They found a better and more sustainable way of illuminating our cities and our home. I'm Mariana
And I'm Maria Catarina.
Change Tomorrow Today.
Reinventing light as we know it. That's what Glowee does, reinventing light production with technology nature has already created to make lighting more sustainable and healthier for both humans and the environment.
Sandra Rey is the founder and CEO of Glowee, and she explains what is Glowee doing.
So Glowee is the company that uses bioluminescence, which is a light produced by fireflies, for example, to be able to create lighting without having a negative impact on the planet.
And this is done by a natural process that is taken from the ocean. It's called bioluminescence.
Glowee is using the phenomenon called bioluminescence, which is the ability that have a lot of organisms to produce light naturally in nature, to change the lighting industry and to make it biological.
Of course, much of this is done in the laboratory. Could you explain us the process, Sandra?
It's a biochemical reaction that happens in, for example, in fireflies and glowworms, but also in more than 80% of marine microorganisms or marine organisms. So it could be sharks, fish, it could be jellyfish, it could be plankton. Basically, almost all marine organisms can produce light. And so what we do is that we use what we call marine bacteria. So this little bacteria usually lives inside other organisms like fish or jellyfish or squid. And we use them, we grow them, we make them evaluate. And with that, we create a raw material, a liquid material that can glow.
That's really cool. What are the benefits for the environment of bioluminescence compared to electrical energy?
There is different kind of benefits. The first one is really an ecological benefits regarding the entire life cycle of the system. Today, if you need to produce a light bulb, it's basically made of rare metals. So they're basically based today in China in mines. So you go get these very limited resources and you transform them. Then it uses very polluting processes. We just have some bacteria that we grow in the lab. So the production process is really interesting in terms of environmental impact because it's an unlimited resource and it's just we just need a few milliliters of bacteria to create a system with several liters of light. Then when you look at the consumption phase of the product, so when the light is on, basically, when the product is used, we work on reducing light pollution, which means basically being able to have a lower impact on insects and on biodiversity in general, which is a big problem today because artificial light affects a lot our ecosystems. And we all know that the way our ecosystems are balanced make the planet live. So if some insect disappear, then it will make disappear a lot of other species, and then everything is unbalanced. So this is what we work on the consumption phase. And on the end of life phase, you have this bioluminescent material. It's basically 100% organic and it's biodegradable. So you don't have a waste to take care of. You can just release the light in the water networks without leaving any trace on the environment.
Creating this new technology of lighting is not only producing a bulb. It's about doing things differently. How we produce and how we consume things.
So what we work on is basically how can we transform the cities of tomorrow with bioluminescence by offering a new way of lighting, which is not like we used to see it with basically a lamppost at a very high, light bulbs very high, and then every 10 meters you have a lamppost. But to say, okay, now we have different ways of living, so we can have more passive lights. For example, in the urban furniture, so we develop products for signage, products that are able to guide in the city. We also develop product that will be, for example, to signal bike stations or things like that. So the goal is really to rethink the way we light. And we can basically replace electrical lighting everywhere where the light needs to guide, to signal something or to give visibility.
But these microorganisms need any special care, Sandra?
So they need to be fed with. So we put in the system some nutrients that are coming in, which is basically water, and then they eat the system. And the other thing that they need is oxygen, because the chemical reaction of bioluminescence need oxygen to create the photon, so the light, because there is basically two molecules that react together with oxygen to produce the light. So they also need oxygen to be able to produce light.
And in which day-to-day life can this new technology can be useful?
Well, the first one is, of course, a technological challenge. It's a very disruptive technology and a very challenging one because it's living. So working with living systems is always very complicated because they're very complex and very sensitive also. So the first challenge is technical. The second one is really about changing the way things are done today, because lighting has been like that for hundreds of years. And there is like kind of standards, methodologies to work on lighting the cities. So we really are doing a huge job on talking to municipalities, talking to builders, talking to conceptors to imagine with them how we can change the way we used to light today. So this is definitely the biggest part, is to change minds and to basically change how the system is working today.
We presume this has been a very hard journey, trying to develop this bioluminescence technology. Have you already tested your bioluminescence technology on a real-life environment?
Yeah, so we have tested different prototypes for indoor usage, and we've designed a relaxation room that we've installed in an hotel and spa in France, in the south of France. So that was the first step. And today we are working on implementing the first urban furniture outside on the street. We've signed a contract with the French city next to Paris. In a few months, we will be able to test the first outdoor urban bioluminescent furniture.
And how can bioluminescence help improve people's comfort and well-being?
So light has a lot to do with comfort and well-being. Actually, light is not just about showing something. It's also about creating an environment, an ambience that makes us feel safe, makes us feel good, makes us feel comfortable. So light is very linked to well-being in general. And we have very lucky that bioluminescence is a very, very soft and very, very beautiful light. That's also why we use it for relaxation purpose. So what we work in is how can we redesign the way we light by using bioluminescence to also improve well-being and comfort by creating spaces that just feel safe, not because the intensity is very high, but just because the quality of light is amazing and is very relaxing.
Will it be possible to change city lights to work with bioluminescence, or this is a very futuristic change?
It's not easy, for sure. Today, to make it easier, we worked in projects that are new built neighborhood, for example, or big renovation projects. It's going to be very difficult, for example, to replace all the lights in the city of Paris in the next 3 years, because everything is already very settled. So that's why we worked on new projects when the lighting system have not been conceived yet, so we can really design from scratch something. So it's going to take time. We know that the first installations that we're going to have are not going to cover huge neighborhoods, but more little spaces. And then with time, we really hope that it can really replace the way we light, because we will have created another way of lighting that does not require traditional lampposts, but can be really imagined differently with bioluminescence.
LEDs are a very popular technology nowadays. Is there any way to create different light colors with bioluminescence?
Yeah, well, LED is very popular now and very mass market, but it took like 25 years to reach this stage. So we know that we have all this way to go through before becoming the general standard that is very accessible, very affordable. So we hope that we are basically the next generation of LEDs. LEDs have created a big revolution. They have really reduced the energy bills because they consume less energy. And now we really want to shift to a biological industry to really think about the whole life cycle and be able to be the next generation of LEDs, basically.
That is awesome, Sandra. Is this kind of light going to be more expensive?
Yeah, for sure it will be a bit more expensive in the beginning for several reasons, because there will be a few of them and the cost in all innovation decrease very rapidly at the beginning. So we already make cost decrease by 20, 30 every year. But of course, to be able to reach a very affordable price, and LED are very, very not expensive at all today, we have some work to do. But of course, it's not going to start at the lowest price on the first years. It's not possible. And it's the same thing for all innovations. It needs maturity to reach a certain price.
In the future, can we imagine that objects can be lighted by bioluminescence, like a dinner table self-illuminated?
Yes, it could. Yeah, it could. We're not working on that right now because of a lot of reasons. But technologically speaking, it could. We have a lot of incoming calls asking us to develop this kind of product. We are a very small company today, so we cannot do everything. But the more mature is the technology, the more things we would be able to develop. So yes, it's possible that in the future, a lot of things are finally bioluminescent.
And have you had any companies that are interested in your technology?
Yeah, we have today around 50 projects in discussion that are advanced projects with clients that want to install our systems. We've talked to more than 1,000 people, I guess, from the creation of Glowee, and we really see a big interest in this transformation. But of course, it needs more technological maturity from our side, so basically more time. That's why we have this pilot project next year that will help to really quantify everything and to show that the technology is working.
Do you think bioluminescence can replace electric light in the future?
No, I don't think so. And I don't believe in radical solution. I don't believe in miracles. I think that when we talk about energy, we always want to have one solution to solve every problem. We want solar panels to work everywhere, but it's not going to work everywhere because there is some places without sun and it's not going to work. So I think that for some places, a solar panel with a lamppost with a LED is the best solution, and some other places bioluminescence is the solution. And I think we need to find the right balance to be able to really have an impact on the planet. So I don't see bioluminescence as a radical solution. For example, bioluminescence will not replace the light in your kitchen. It's not made for that. It's a light that it's more made for visibility, for signaling something, for guiding, but it's not about replacing the light in your kitchen.
Thank you, Sandra, for talking to us about this bacteria, which can help on our way of consuming energy and have more sustainable forms of lighting in the future.
You can check more about Glowee on their website, glowee.eu.
It's glowee.eu.
It's the end of our program about bioluminescence, a new lighting technology from a company called Glowee.
Change Tomorrow Today is a radio show produced by Rádio Miúdos, the first radio station in Portuguese for kids in partnership with the European Bank of Investment Institute. I'm Maria Catarina.
And I'm Mariana. Thanks for listening
and see you the next time.
Change Tomorrow Today, a radio show about good ideas for a better tomorrow. Talks with social entrepreneurs about projects that change people's lives. Change Tomorrow Today, a Rádio Miúdos.pt production for the European Investment Bank Institute.